Good morning and welcome to the Long Island Matchmaker Show. I'm Lauren Defranco here with Maureen Tara Nelson, Long Island's only executive level certified matchmaker in the business of finding love for 20 years. Good morning, Maureen.
Good morning. It's so great to see you again.
Great to see you. Your hair looks beautiful today. I see you. You made it lighter again? Did you change the color?
Yes, I did. Yes.
People really love to hear about our hairstyles. I made mine darker, but...
Yeah, yours looks great.
Thanks.
Great.
So we're coming up to that month, that February D-date, so to speak, Valentine's Day.
Which every day is Valentine's Day at MTN Matchmaking.
Oh, that is true. That is true. But and this has
doesn't that sound so cliche, though? But it really is.
Every day is Valentine's Day. Yeah. That's your slogan.
That's really what it is like. Picture having Valentine's Day and you're coordinating it for, say, work. Now just think of doing that every single day, 7 days a week, until midnight every night.
Yeah, it can be an exhausting day of the year. It's like Groundhog's Day, Valentine's Day for you. But
I love it.
What do you say to people now who are looking at Valentine's Day and they say, oh, I'm single again this year. I don't want to go through Valentine's Day again as a single adult. What do you say to those people?
Well, seriously, hurry up and, do something.
Get out there.
Yeah, because a lot of times people will literally on February 13th start thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have someone for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's too late.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. You can't find a boyfriend in a day.
Unless you're going to go to a supermarket and stalk every single person there that you find attractive and hope that they're single. But
which
obviously,
probably would be a little creepy to do, wouldn't it?
It's very creepy. Don't do that. I could assure you, anyone that's ever come up to me, I have found that is extremely creepy. So my recommendation is that you start now, Sunday, thinking about how you're going to give yourself more exposure to single people. But also, if you're looking for a committed relationship, everything now is different and it changes and you have to up everything a notch. For example, if you're just out of a divorce and you want to just date around, that's the internet. And just be careful.
Because then you can just fly by night.
Exactly.
Fly by the seat of your pants.
Once you say to yourself, I want a committed relationship, then you need to do certain things, and we could talk about that later if you want, because that's going to be our boot camp.
Yes.
But
how to be in a committed relationship and what to look for when you have problems like myself.
Yes. And to get out of your own way, as I always say, right?
Yeah, you're your own worst enemy, and that's one thing I've learned. And another takeaway is, we only know ourselves. We know ourselves the best, right? Mm-hmm. You know Maureen better than anyone knows Maureen, and I know Lauren better than anyone knows Lauren. Yes. So therefore, we have the ability to pick someone who's right for us, but we often self-sabotage, right?
Because of fear. Mm-hmm. Say, for example, oh, wow, I might fall in love with this person, and what if this person cheats on me? Because maybe either your parents, one of them cheated on each other and you grew up with that, or maybe your ex cheated on you. So all of those things that you have in your mind, get rid of them.
It's called baggage.
Yes. Great. So forget about the baggage and just think about when you're ready to find the committed relationship, there should be nothing stopping you. You just have to tell every single person that you know, I am looking for a committed relationship. And that's the first start. That's what everyone should be doing right away now for Valentine's Day.
And I'm looking at the calendar. I did pull it up. And you have 3 weeks. So 3 weeks isn't a fortune of time, but it is enough time to go out on a couple of dates.
Course.
And it is enough time for certain to call Maureen at MTN Matchmaking.
Thank you.
And if you're really serious about a committed relationship, I always say this, Maureen vets out people for you. So I know I hate the internet. And I refuse to go on the internet. Mm-hmm. I refuse to go on the internet because it's just a waste of my time, and my time is valuable.
Of course.
And so I don't do it. But I know that if you contact Maureen, she does all the vetting out already.
And I'm not afraid to say to someone, you present with signs of narcissistic behavior, out. We're not a good match.
She actually enjoys that.
I do actually enjoy it because that's what led me into this. But there's many factors of why someone might not pass our screening process. Again, just real quickly, you can't have a felony. You have to be a positive person, emotionally stable, financially stable, or very financially stable, looking for a committed relationship or marriage.
And that's on both ends, people. So
Yes,
you have to be a woman who has a means of your own.
Yes.
Not
No
someone
gold
just
diggers.
looking
Right.
for a man with money.
Yep, because many matchmakers throughout the country, and I do really know most of them being an executive level certified matchmaker. There's only a few of us, but I think there's about 1,000 certified matchmakers throughout the country. So we all work differently, and that's the beauty of matchmaking. And that's why I love what I do, because it's so different. But in general terms, many of them do something that I just personally don't agree with. They will take, say, anywhere from $25,000 up to $100,000 for men, and then they have women come in, and they call them database clients. So that woman, she doesn't pay. They're not looking for her, but she sits in the database, and when they find this gross billionaire who is repulsive, and I mean this in a nice joking way, but he wants someone 20 years younger, and you might be, say, 40, but you're going to have to go up to 60 for him because he likes the way you look. So I'm a big believer in not doing that, because that woman didn't pay to go to that service. And the chances of her being a gold digger, knowing that, okay, I'm going to be set up with someone much, much older because he likes the way I look as far as being arm candy, I just personally do not agree with it. I love my colleagues, love all of them, love what I do. I'll help them all the time. That is just one thing I personally don't believe in.
Well, I mean, then you become more like an escort service in a sense, because if someone just wants a young woman to be arm candy, there's no substance in that. They just want a pretty face to be on their arm for events.
Yeah. And again, there is always going to be someone prettier than you, someone younger than you. And believe it or not, as men get older, they become more distinguished. And if they become wealthier and wealthier, then you might be great for 10 years with him. But if that man finds out he can get someone 10 years younger than you, he might very well do it, because I've seen it happen with other services.
That's unfortunate.
It's very sad. That's why the greatest men do come to my service, because the women are paying as well. So they know they're financially stable, but they're also just as serious. So there's no games. So if you're looking to find love, whatever avenue you're looking at, just remember that you have to be your authentic self and have someone love you for who you are, and come up with, this is my big thing, 5 must-haves, not 20. That's it. Simple.
And if you're a woman and you're listening, I think that don't be afraid to put yourself out there, because you think maybe someone won't like you because you're not attractive enough, or you're not young enough, or whatever it is. We live in a very ageism, sexist society. But what do you say to women out there who come to you and they're like, well, I don't know if I should put myself out there. I don't know if I'm pretty enough. I don't know if I'm this or that.
I love clients like this because they are realistic. And what I say to them is, men recognize the importance of being compatible and having chemistry. So emphasis being on compatible, because beauty is within, and men do know that are coming to me. So you know you're never going to be the prettiest person in the world. Our men understand that, and that's good. And also, too, there's a lid for every pot. So you have to believe in yourself and feel great about yourself and always work on yourself for yourself, number one. But what that does is it puts out in the universe all these great positive vibes, and you do appear more attractive to people.
I firmly believe that if you go into things with a positive attitude and with a smile on your face, and if you notice, if you go out one night and you're in a bad mood and you have a resting bitch face on, can I say that on the air? Yeah, you're not going to attract a lot of men or women or whatever. And if you go out and you're really exuding confidence and positivity and you're smiling, you'll notice that people are attracted to you, men, women. And it's kind of just a rule of thumb of life, right? You attract positivity.
Yes. Everyone should be smiling as much as possible because life can be short. But if you wake up every morning and you count your blessings and you focus on the things that you are happy about and you feel blessed about, then it's easy to consciously think, I'm going to smile at this person that's coming up to me. Now, I don't know that person, but you might think, oh, I might look silly smiling. No, you won't. You're going to look attractive smiling at that person. He, say hypothetically, is going to be so happy a stranger smiled at him just because it does make people feel good that he's going to smile back at you, and it can lead to a nice conversation with each other.
Right.
So always remember, get rid of resting bitch face because no one wants to come up to someone in that mood.
It's very unappealing.
Yes.
I have a story, and it's not about a date-related thing, but it just goes to show you. I went to the theater a couple weeks ago by myself because I wanted to see the Michael Jackson show. And I walked up to the box office. I didn't have a ticket. And I said to the box office lady, I said, hi, how are you? How's your day going? And she said, you're the first person who smiled at me and said, hi, how is your day going?
Right.
And she gave me third row or fifth row orchestra center. And she was like, and I discounted it.
Aww.
And I thought that's the power of being positive and being kind to people, because we forget. And especially now in this endemic world we're living in, people forget to be kind.
It's very, very important. A lot of times, and I don't think everyone knows this, but I also do dating coaching. So I have a man that I just recently took on only for dating coaching. And so last evening we're doing a Zoom, and he's right out of a relationship, but he knows he doesn't want to be alone. And I'm a big believer, in not sitting home and pining over that person.
No.
So
the only way to get over someone is
right back in the pool. And
there's a saying, but probably can't say that on KJOY either.
So I literally have to teach him how to flirt.
Really?
So I said, okay, look, you're going to have to pretend to flirt with me. It's totally professional.
He's that far out of the game?
Yes, because he's so nervous and he's so serious. And that is going to hurt him because women are going to find that as, oh, he has a wall up, which he probably does a little bit because he is out of a relationship. But at least he's strong enough to recognize that he loves himself, he has a great life, he wants to share it with someone, but he just doesn't know how to do it. So because he's so serious, number one is teaching him how to flirt. So I have to tell you, last night was a lot of fun.
You got him to lighten up?
Yes. And the cutest thing I have to say is, So as I'm practicing with them and telling them,
did you spark a connection between the two of you?
No. Like I said, this is totally professional.
Okay. I had to ask.
And I said, we are just doing this for dating coaching purposes. But the first thing he said to me is, you have nice hair. Like that was his way of flirting.
And did you have to tell him no?
Well, I had to say to him, well, that's not it. You don't just throw compliments out there.
Although a compliment never hurts.
Yes, always compliment. And everyone should be complimenting each other, men, women, to everyone. Because by building other people up, it is going to make you feel better about yourself. And all of us should be consciously every day trying to feel the best that we can.
So, guys, if you're going out on a date, don't just toss the compliments out, but smile and then say, your hair looks beautiful.
Right. And yes, just like Lauren did, you have to show and, have that feeling behind it. And, for some people that happen to have a serious, personality, they don't really know how to do it. But you can practice that. And, with the dating coaching that I provide, and again, I know this is certainly not a commercial for my dating coaching. It's just so happens I am working with him and I'm finding all these really cute, funny situations with it. But he is just like a sponge. So I love dealing with clients like that. And back to what we were saying before, when you said about that woman, the example of a woman who feels like, oh, maybe I'm not attractive enough, and to
get back out in the dating world.
So never think that, because again, as I said, there's a lid for every pot. But men literally will like that better than a woman who, say, is average looking, but she has what I call that magic mirror, and she thinks she's beautiful, and she flaunts it in a negative, arrogant, conceited way.
That's a turn off, too.
Yes, men do not like that.
So this leads me to something that I was watching today, and I don't remember what show it was on. I think it was Wendy Williams, but they were saying that there's this woman, she's a model, and she said she's too beautiful to get a date.
I do not believe in that.
I don't see that, because guys are very what's the word when they're very visual. They're very superficial and visual.
They are very visual. Yes.
So is that a possibility that someone is too beautiful to find a date? That seems like a crack of bull to me.
In my 20 years, I have never heard a man say that. Now, in 20 years, I've heard about 1 million women come in and say, I'm so beautiful that men just don't want to come up to me because they're intimidated by me. Yeah, no, that's not why. And that's the first thing I'll say after assessing what the situation really is. And if it's someone that I think I can work with and help, I will help them go over the real reason why. And just like we said before, many times that person, although they might be beautiful, say model looks, you know how they walk down the runway, they're not smiling? So this type of person might have the resting bitch face. Now, if that's the case,
I'm
you're
going to tell
not
you,
going to be approachable.
I'm reading it right now. She's a Playboy model who says she's too beautiful for love, as men are scared to date her. Playboy model Elizabeth Marie Chevalier says she's desperate for a boyfriend, but has been struggling to find love. We need to send her to your dating coaching class and perhaps sign up with MTN Matchmaking, because I've never heard of such a thing. And she's a Playboy model. I mean, come on. What guy doesn't want to date a Playboy model?
Right.
Seriously? So,
but the interesting thing about chemistry and finding someone beautiful or handsome is everyone is so different. And for a relationship to work and last, you have to have both chemistry and compatibility. So if you have compatibility, then chemistry does grow, but I've said it 1 million times, not the other way around. But a really interesting example happened when I first got into this 20 years ago, that I signed up a man and he said to me, "Do you want to know what I like physically?" Now, remember, when I got into this 20 years ago, it wasn't my own business yet. So I've owned my own business for about 17 years. I got the training from working at other companies. So I came up with on my own, I let the clients do the chemistry themselves because I know everyone is so different. But at this company, we were told, just say whatever they want, which didn't believe in, hence I moved forward away from them. But the example I'm giving is the guy said to me, "Whatever you do, don't give me a woman that looks like Cindy Crawford because she is so unattractive." Cindy Crawford, who back then was one of the top supermodels, 20 years ago.
Not his cup of tea.
Yeah, but he literally said he does not find her attractive at all. Now, I would say probably
Now, was he some gorgeous guy that could get a supermodel like Cindy Crawford?
He was a very good-looking guy. And again, see, that's why it's always so subjective because, to find someone exactly equal, it's impossible because there's also, even though there's a general term that we matchmakers have the ability, to look at, we don't talk about it naturally because it could come off as mean or, just not nice to someone. But everyone should be open to looks and concentrating on finding someone that you are compatible to because chemistry will grow. And I love the stories of when someone does fall in love with someone that they're compatible to, even though to the general public, people don't find that person attractive.
All right, so getting back to this Playboy model who says she is dating for her is a nightmare. Guys are scared because I'm so beautiful. I would totally let a friend set me up with someone. In fact, I would prefer it. But she says that men aren't attracted to her for a committed relationship. Well, let's bear in mind, she is a Playboy model, right?
I'm sure that's what it is, that for one reason or another, they just don't want to say, "Oh, this is the mother of my kids. She's a Playboy model," because maybe his parents are extremely conservative. I mean, in this day and age, it should mean absolutely nothing. But
right. But we know that
never know.
Some men could be intimidated by the fact that she does use her sexuality.
Yes, right.
And that's part of her career.
Yes, and he might not like that people see her nude all the time in the magazines.
Right. I was thinking, she's not just a supermodel. She is a Playboy model.
So I think that's what it is,
she might
rather
have to
than
choose
that
another
she's
career.
Too beautiful. Right.
Yeah,
so
I think it's pretty simple.
So
okay, Elizabeth, call us. We'll help you out.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so we do have some questions.
Oh, yes, great.
Ryan sent
Everyone,
us.
thank you so much for writing in every week. It makes me so happy. And we also, on our Friday Facebook Lives with my brother Brian, and sometimes Lauren does it with me, and I love that.
It's always so fun.
Yeah, so we also do this as well, answering questions.
Well, and we love getting questions because some of them are fun. And we did mention that Valentine's Day is coming up. And so a lot of people want to know about Valentine's Day. And I thought this was kind of interesting. Would you go on a blind date on Valentine's Day?
Absolutely. Why not?
I knew that would be your answer.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not go on a blind... Well, for Maureen, as she said, every day is Valentine's Day for her. So
seriously.
Why not?
If you are in a safe environment, you should want to give yourself as much exposure to other single people as possible. You should, if you get an invite to a party, a lot of times in the winter, people don't want to go out because it's just so cold and so on. But you have to force yourself to give yourself as much exposure as possible.
And you know what? If you don't have a date by Valentine's Day or you don't have someone that you're in a relationship with, why not get out there? I mean, Maureen always says you've got to be in it to win it.
I'm sure I didn't coin that phrase.
She didn't coin that phrase.
Although I do pretend sometimes that I coined phrases, but
not that one.
Not that one.
All right. So what's your ideal Valentine's Day date? Okay.
And remember, I do not look at these at all beforehand.
Okay.
So, well, again, this depends upon how long you're with someone. Say, for example, 3 months or less, I would say a great thing to do is to maybe not go out to a dinner, because any place you go on Valentine's Day for dinner, you're probably going to have to wait, right? Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I don't think that's the best time to go out on a date per se, because it is a Hallmark holiday in a way, and they're going to price gouge you. And it's impossible to get a reservation, and you're going to pay a lot more money for dinner than you normally would, because it's probably a price fixed menu. So there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, so keep that for if you've been going out, say, 6 months or more, because then you probably don't mind those things. You're just so happy to be with that person.
Right.
So say 3 months or less. Instead of doing something like that, you can have the person over and order in food, or what's really, really great now is that a lot of people have learned how to cook during the pandemic because they had no choice, except for me, of course. Still don't know how to cook.
I'm not the best cook either, I have to admit.
But that would be a really great romantic first date for Valentine's Day if you're dating 3 months or less. Go over to each other's house, cook together. Guys, always bring flowers.
And wine.
And wine, if you drink.
If you drink.
A lot of people now are being more health conscious, like I am, and no longer drink anymore.
Which we applaud as well.
Well, again, it's no hardship at all for me. So, but, you know. But that
it wasn't like you had a drinking issue.
Right,
you just stopped drinking.
Yes. And a lot of people are doing that when they reach a certain age, like me, 49. So, and then guys always bring flowers and bring the typical chocolate hearts, candy. Don't ever think, oh, this is so cliche. Do it. Everything that you do, because those aren't expensive. They're $10 or less.
It's an easy item to bring.
Yeah, and it makes the other person happy. So
it's thoughtful. It's just being thoughtful.
And that is what really makes a great date, because after that, you both can watch a movie together, snuggle on the couch. Maybe there's a fireplace going.
And we are in cuddling season.
Yes,
so
definitely.
I just wanted to talk about this, but maybe we should have this be our setup for next week, because the Sex and the City reboot, you only watched one show?
I refuse to watch it because of the obvious thing, which I will not say.
No, it's fine. The spoiler alert is out there. Big time.
Well, still, it's not going to come from me.
Okay, well, I'll say it.
Because I
Big died after riding a pellet.
Okay, someone is literally going to be very mad at that.
Alert.
So I was so happy he was going to be in it. I love him. He's one of my favorite actors. When I heard that, I just said I will never watch any of those shows.
But now you're going to.
No. I get all the information from Ryan.
Okay. All right. Well, there's so many things to talk about, so many relationship things, because Carrie lost her husband, so now she's just starting to date. And what is the grieving period? And I'm curious to see how that's going to unfold. And then there's the character who discovers that she's a lesbian.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting, too.
Yeah.
Because Cynthia Nixon really is a lesbian in real life. And she's with this really hot actress who's...
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
It's kind of an interesting relationship. But she's married.
Oh, wow.
She's married, so...
Well, speaking of that, just so you know, every year I do a Valentine's Day contest. So this year is for guys. So, guys, if you're single, looking for a committed relationship, send in your information, email it to us at maureen@mtnmatchmaking.com. We're going to select a winner. You're going to get all these fun prizes, and I'm going to match you up with someone for free for Valentine's Day.
Which is very exciting. And I need to plug something. I'm going to be on a podcast called Bucket List Careers with my friend and former colleague, Krista Laurie. So I'll post that on my social media at Lauren Defranco and at LSD Swag. It's about my transition from news to being an artist, doing the radio show with Maureen and doing public relations with Todd and all that other good stuff. And on a final note, what do you want to say to people out there who are dreading Valentine's Day?
Don't. Look forward to it. And just keep putting the love and positive energy out from this moment on. And you'll be surprised that smiling at everyone, watch the reactions that people give you when you smile to them.
Go to Whole Foods today and smile at everyone.
So thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yes, I'm Lauren Defranco.
And Maureen Tara Nelson. See you next week.